Hare Krishna. This is Purushottam Das from Brisbane, Praveen Raniga. Om Gyanin Timirindasya Gyanin Jana Salakya Chaksuruntan Yena Tasmai Sri Guruvai Namaha Namo Shnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmani Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Niti Namiran Namo Shnupadaya Krishna Pasaya Bhutali Bhakti Vedanta Mahavishnu Goswami Niti Nami Namo Shnupadaya Krishna Pasaya Bhutali Bhakti Vedanta Tikmarat Niti Namire Vanchakalpatrubhisha Kripasindhuecha Patitan Pavani Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namo. All my Dandak pranams to all Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, whoever is listening. First of all, I like to do my pranams to Swami Maharaj, who has introduced Krishna consciousness right throughout the world. This is why we all here in this position know who Krishna was. If not, we would have been lost. So, my koti Dandak pranams to Swami Maharaj. Our Gurudeva has helped Swami Maharaj in a lot of ways. He has sent mridangas, kartals, books, sweets, everything to Swami Maharaj when he was abroad. Swami Maharaj really appreciated our Gurudeva, and before Swami Maharaj left the body, as we all know, he called our Gurudeva, took his hand in his hand and asked him if he can look after all his disciples. And our Gurudeva was very happy to do that, and this is what he is doing right now. When Swami Maharaj went overseas, nobody knew who Krishna was. Nobody knew who Radha was. He introduced Hare Krishna throughout the world and changed so many people, thousands and thousands of people, to Krishna consciousness. There was a saying that Swami Maharaj said he changed all the hippies to happies. And the vibration which he had, was something different. If you see Swami, if somebody saw Swami Maharaj, if they heard Swami Maharaj, they all started changing. Same thing, if there is a high elevated Swami, the vibration is different. The atmosphere is different. It's all positive energy right through. So when our Gurudev started going overseas, started going in the West, throughout the world, taking up Swami Maharaj's request, he came to a different level, where Swami Maharaj introduced Krishna and our Gurudev took it to a separate level, to a higher level. So we are all very fortunate to have our Gurudev. I remember when Gurudev came to Australia, he went to Muvulumba, which is an hour and a half from Brisbane. So we heard that there was a Swami, there's a Maharaj, very elevated Maharaj has come down to Muvulumba. So myself, my wife Meena, a few other devotees, we all went to Muvulumba, met Maharaj, and heard his katha. When the class was over, myself, my wife, we went to Maharaj and introduced ourselves. Maharaj looked at us and told my wife, next year when I come, I'll come to your place. So next year comes, Maharaj was in Muvulumba. We went and met him, and he said, we'll come to your place, we'll have a program. So at that time, I had my business, so I closed my business early, and I came home. I was shocked to see so many people. It was 3 minibuses full of people. My street was full, couldn't get parking. Anyway, I managed to park somewhere and came home. I couldn't find my wife. People were everywhere. One way, it was so much blessing that all our Vaishnavas were at my place, came home to hear the Harikatha from Gurudeva. On the other hand, this was the first time we had so many people. I couldn't even find my wife, where she was. I was lost in my own house. So I went down, make sure she was okay. Then Maharaj came in. Then we had a very good program. I think the program went for about hour and a half. Then Maharaj left, and all the Vaishnavas had prasad at my place. So this is how we start to come to know Maharaj. Later on, as time went past, Maharaj was coming in to Australia every now and then. So my wife, she was very attracted, and she was having her she was doing her initiation. She was having her initiation. So we went to Movalumba, and there is a saying that you don't look for gurus. If you are really serious, Guru will look for you. Similar incident happened with myself. So when we went to Movalumba, my wife was sitting to get initiation. As soon as Maharaj walked in, he looked at my wife, Meena, and said, "Where's your husband? Call him." So my wife comes out, brings me in, and Maharaj said, "I'll give you Gopal mantra. This will help you." So I was so lucky that Maharaj called me, and gave me Gopal mantra. And this is one of a small experience. Then we stayed in Movalumba because Maharaj was there for a week. So we stayed for a few days. Every morning we went for a morning walk. And that was amazing. First time in my life, we went with the Maharaj to go on a morning walk. Later on, my daughter was in America, in Canada. So we went to Canada to visit my daughter. And we heard that Maharaj was coming to Canada. So we were very pleased. We met Maharaj in Canada. There was a big program for a few days. Then Maharaj went to Alachua. So me and my wife, we went to Alachua to see Maharaj. When Maharaj saw us, he said, "Yahan bhi aa gaya." So we were there for a week. It was a big program, amazing program, beautiful program. So, and this is a bit of my background, bit of my association which I had with Maharaj. Hari Bol. Om Gyanin Timirindasya Gyanin Jana Salakya Chakshurumuthan Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvai Namaha. Vanchakalpatrubhasa Kripa Sindhuecha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. My Danvak pranams to everyone who is listening. Hare Krishna.